Witcher fanfiction, short story, Blood, Fire and Ashes. Written by Irene Marras. Blood, Fire and Ashes. Riana strode through the burnt village, smoke catching her lungs with every breath. She did not want to be here. She was not here for the war. She had been brought here because among the dead there were still survivors, the wounded who could still be saved. But she was too late. Most of the villagers had already been killed, and those who had survived lay in mud and blood, screaming helplessly in pain. Someone grabbed her by the arm. "Riana? Why are you standing there? Are you going to help us or not?" She looked at the soldier, an elf whose face was blackened with smoke and whose hands were covered in blood. The blood of his own troops, the blood of men, everyone's blood. It was already impossible to distinguish. What happened? Riana asked, but she already knew the answer. An enemy village. You are a healer. Come on, we have men dying, and you're standing there like you're trading in a marketplace. Then she heard it. A shout? Not the cry of a soldier in agony, not the cry of one who has had a sword in his chest or an arrow in his leg. It was a deep, raw, visceral sound, a pain that wasn't steel. It was not the sound of dying. It was the sound of someone on the brink of life and death. Something inside her awoke. Riana pulled her hand from the elven soldier's grip and turned towards the voice. "Where are you, Riana? We have wounded." But she didn't listen. She didn't even look back. Her legs were already moving. The shout came from the direction of the sauna. A building that hadn't burned. Riana darted through the door of the small sauna, and the heavy, almost suffocating air of steam spread around her. The floorboards creaked under her footsteps, and the warmth of the room was like walls around her, enveloping, disorienting, but not comforting. She didn't know what she expected to see, yet what she found made her heart thump uncomfortably. She was lying on the floor on old blankets, half on her side, drops of sweat glistening on her pale face. She was breathing heavily, gasping for air as if drowning. Her hands clenched into fists, her nails scraping the floorboards, and with each spasm her body tensed to the limit. She was alone. No midwife, no one to hold her hand. Just her, the pain, and Riana, who had come too late. Her open eyes, heavy with fatigue, met hers for a moment, but there was no fear in them, only a confused plea for help that she could no longer articulate. I'll help you," Riana whispered, kneeling beside her. She pushed a lock of hair away from her face and tried to assess the situation. The smell of blood mingled with the steam, and it was the wrong kind of blood, not a small tear, not natural childbirth. It was too dark, too heavy, it had already stained the floor, and Riana knew it immediately. This was no longer a normal birth. This was death, waiting for the right moment to take hold. She moaned and convulsed again. Her body was still trying to give birth, but what should have been the beginning of life had now turned into a torturous, distorted anticipation. Not yet, not like this, Riana thought. Her fingers trembled as she tried to summon her strength. Powers she had already saved countless with, powers she could. But looking at her, she knew it was useless. She was beyond her abilities. She dipped the cloth in a bowl of water and wiped her forehead. Touching her felt wrong, as if she had already said goodbye. "Stay with me," Riana whispered, "breathe, I am here." But she knew. She already knew. The birth lasted only a moment. Riana did everything she could. She supported, she guided, she whispered soothing words, even if they seemed to echo hollowly off the walls of the sauna. When the child finally came into the world, it did not cry. It did not breathe. The tiny body was warm in her hands, but only for a moment. Riana knew it had been dead before it was born. She gently laid the child on the woman's chest and met her gaze. And then she saw it. She saw that she already knew. She had known it all along. Still, Her fingers trembled as they touched her child's face, a small smile lingering for a moment on her lips, broken, hopeful, sad. And then her gaze slipped away. Riana slowly put her hands on her face and closed her eyes. Silence filled the sauna. Outside the village, Scoia'le's troops waited. Someone called her name. Commanding, demanding. She heard footsteps in the courtyard, the creak of a door, and then someone standing behind her. "Riana, what are you doing?" The voice was loud, but there was something else in it, uncertainty, rage, confused disappointment. She didn't turn to look. She sat quietly on the floor, her hands still stained with blood, already knowing what this meant. She had made her choice. And now someone else would make the choice for her.